Let us see the type 1 based on binding sites. So in this, monodentate is called unidentate. Didentates or a bidentates. Here only one donor atom, here two donor atom in a single legons. Here polydentate in a single legons. Now we will see the types of legons, positive legons, negative legons and neutral legons. First, positive legons. It is ended by IM, and negative legons we have uni, di, tri, like that. So it is called uni negative charges, and two negative charges and three negative charges are called as a negative legons, and neutral legons having no charge at all. Positive legon will have positive charge, negative legon will have negative charge in 1, 2, 3, etc. Let us see the positive legons, cationic legond. So it is positive. So it is end with IM. For example, IUM, IM, NO2 plus nitronium, NO plus nitrosonium. NH2, NH2 is called hydrazine. This hydrazine is used as a fuel in rocket. So remember like this, rocket fuel is hydrazine. Formula is NH2, NH2. In this, we are adding one H extra, NH3, NH2, NH3 plus. So it is called NH2, NH is called hydrazine. So we have, I said hydrazinium, hydrazinium, hydrazine to hydrazinium, nitrosonium, nitronium. So positive legons end by IM, IM, IM. Then negative legon end with the suffix of O. So we showed in 2004, they said this condition of saying OO to be ended the negative legon. For example, sulfide, sulfido, sulfite, sulfito, sulfate, sulfato. So E is replaced by O. So what I have written? IDE, IDO, ITE, ITO, ATE, ATO to be said. So uni negative, please students sit in one corner of your home. You say at least 10 times the each legons will be by hearted. So iodine, so iodine, so iodide. So this is iodine is I minus is called iodide, IDE. E removed iodido, fluoride, fluorido, chloride, chlorido, bromide, bromido. So I minus iodido, fluoride, fluorido, chloride, chlorido, bromide, bromido. So water IDE are converted to IDO. Next, NO2 minus ONO minus both are same. For I mean that number of nitrogen is 1, number of oxygen is 2. So both to be spelled as nitrito, nitrito. But here nitrogen is the donor atom. In this oxygen is the donor atom. So we should call it as both nitrito Kn, nitrito KO. K term to be used because K is a constant term to be used for either NO2 minus or ONO minus. If it is a nitrogen donor to be written Kn. If it is oxygen donor to be written a KO. So nitrito Kn and ONO minus also nitrito but it is KO. Then NO3 minus is nitrate ATE. So nitrato and a cyanide. This is called cyanide. Cn is called cyanide. IDE, iodido, iodo. So what cyanido? Cyanido. It is called cyanido. This is isocyanide. Also to be called as a cyanido. But here carbon is a donor atom Kc. And nitrogen is a donor atom. It is to be written as a Kn. Whether cyanide or isocyanide, it should be called as a cyanido. But to be distinguished, Kk, Kc, this is Kn. K term to be used. These are called as a ampidentate. This is ampidentate and these two also called as a ampidentate. And then OH minus hydroxide. So hydroxido, hydride ion, hydrido. And this is amido, and this is imine, imido, imine. It is amine. This is NH2 is amine, NH is called imine. So it is called amido. This is called imido. Acetate ion, so acetato. This is called azide, and 3 minus is called azide, so it is called azido. But N3 minus is called nitrido. Here N3 minus it is called as a nitrido, but N3 the whole power is minus, it is called azido, azide. N3 the whole power is minus 1 is called azide, it is called azido. And SCN is called thiocyanate. So this is called thiocyanate too. Isothiocyanate, but it is N is the donor, here sulfur is the donor atom. For both the cases, we should commonly called as thiocyanate, but the K term constantly say as a thiocyanate, but they are distinguished by the S donor atom and donor atom. So thiocyanate Ks for this iso thiocyanate Kn. These two also called as ampidentate. Both the same thiocyanate, sulfur donor and nitrogen is the donor. Next, cyanate. Cyanate. I mean cyanate instead of E, O is substituted. This is called cyanate. This is isocyanate. So O is the donor atom. So constant name is cyanato. Constantly we can call as cyanato, either a normal cyanate or isocyanate. But here the cyanate is called as a KO and this isocyanate is called as a KN. Cyanato KO, cyanato KN. Then two or by negative charges, that is 2 minus 2 minus. So SO4 2 minus is called sulfate. SO3 2 minus is called sulfite. So this is called sulfato and this is called sulfito. Thiosulfate. So S2O3 2 minus is called thiosulfate. So thiosulfato and S2 minus sulfide. So what is sulfido? Next I have written all negative and by negative and uni negative I have written for this case specially. This is all together one another. It is a link in first year redox reaction lesson. It is a very easy, simple thing for you to change the charges of oxide and peroxide and superoxide. So this is for a neat. I have written for this. O2 minus is called oxide. It's called oxido. Peroxide. O2 2 minus peroxide. So it is called peroxido. O2 only minus, it is called superoxido. Superoxido. Peroxide, peroxido. Oxide, oxido. Next, oxalato. COO minus COO minus C2O4 2 minus. It is called oxalate ion. Oxalate is called oxalato. Carbonate ion. CO3 2 minus. It is called carbonato. So C double bond O minus 2 or a donor atom. Next, NH2 minus is called amido. NH2 minus is called amido. NH is called imine. It is called amido 2 minus. So 3 or a tri-negative charges. N3 minus is called as a nitrido. P3 minus is called as a phosphido. N3 minus is called nitrido, P3 minus is called phosphido. Next, come across to the neutral ligands. Neutral ligands contain CH3, NH2, methylamine. NH2, CH2, CH2, NH2 is called as a ethylene diamine or it is called 2-carbon ethane. So it is a first carbon, second carbon, 1, 2 diamine. So ethane is a alphabet and this is Arabian letter 1 and 2. So between a alphabet and Arabian letter, we should put a hyphen always. Then between two numbers, put comma. 1, 2, again a Arabian letter 2 and a alphabetical letter So what hyphen to be written? So ethane hyphen 1 comma 2 hyphen diamine is the procedure of writing. So 6H5N is called pyridine. So short form is PY. Pyridine PY. PH3 is a paspine. So these are neutral ligands. Say as it is the name. Then NH2, CSNH2 is called thiourea. For this small illustration for you to remember thiourea, I already told you to NH2. NH2 is called hydrazine. I told you it is used for the rocket fuel as a rocket. So rocket fuel is called as a hydrazine. Remember rocket fuel, that is NH2 hydrazine. So in between a main group, I have introduced CO. So NH2CO NH2. To the hydrazine, I have introduced CO group is called urea. Ordinary urea. Instead of oxygen, I have substitute sulfur. It is called thiourea. Easily you can remember hydrazine because it is used as a rocket fuel. Introducing one CO is called normal urea, and instead of oxygen, sulfur is called as a thiourea. Depend upon the nature of the soil, we have to use the fertilizer that is called urea and a thiourea. So thiourea symbol is small letter T U. Two pyridine together, it is called dipyridyl. They are called as a DIPY. DP. For example, DP road. Imagine DIPY. Next, a few more exceptions in the naming the neutral ligands. Here, water. In an old system, they used to say that aquo, but now the new system after 2004, the IUPAC, they are recommended to call a special name of water, not aquo, should say aqua. So AQUA to become. So aqua. So new system only to be followed nowadays. You should change if any other book aqua, you just change into aqua. NH3 is a ammonia, it to be said amine with a double M, 2M should come. So it is called amine. Then NO, capital letter N, capital letter O is called a nitrosyl. If it is a NO2 means we should write a small capital letter N and a small letter O only should be written a NO2. But nitrosyl, both are caps. So it is a NO is called nitrosyl. This is called nitrosyl. Capital letter C, capital letter O is called carbonyl. If it is a capital letter C and small letter O is called as a cobalt metal. So capital letter C with a small letter O is a metal name cobalt. But both are caps. It's called carbonyl. C and S, thiocarbonyl. This is carbonyl. CO is a thiocarbonyl. Thank you, students.